Hey everyone. So I'm here to talk about the flame test pre-lab. And so one of the things that it doesn't tell you in the procedure. So if somebody pauses this video and everybody get out the procedure and you want to flip to this side, all right, where obviously it says procedure. So do that and then turn it back on when everybody's to that point. Okay, so in the procedure, it does not tell you how to set up your spot plate. So we're going to use a spot plate, and then you have 7 different compounds and unknowns that you are going to test. Now, the substances that you know that has a formula for the compound, we call those the knowns. Then you're going to have unknowns. And everybody is going to test 2 unknowns, all right? And then you can test up to 2 bonuses, which are going to be just that. So they'll count for extra credit points. Okay, and so those unknowns have to be one of the known samples that you're testing. Otherwise, how are you going to compare and try to figure out what your unknowns are? Okay, so make sure before you come into lab tomorrow that you read the procedure, okay, and the background information, and of course that you do the pre-lab questions. But like I was saying, that the lab does not tell you how to set up your spot plate, okay? So what you're going to do is on a piece of plain white paper would be the best thing, is to put your spot plate. All right, and then you can label up along the top, down along the sides. You can label exactly what you're going to place in each one of those wells, okay? And we've used these before, so remember that the holes that you have right there, they're called wells. So you have to make sure that you are labeling, because otherwise you're not going to know. And in this lab, contamination is crucial. So you have to be very careful what it is that you're doing. Okay, so once you do that and you have it labeled, then you are going to take your little vial, all right, and then you don't need a whole lot. Like a lot of people think like, okay, if I get a whole scoop like this, that's way too much, all right, because you are only going to use very small quantities. So you probably want to get, just a tip full of the scopula. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that. All right, so it's just the tip of the scopula, and then you're going to place that in the well. All right, so you can see, if I tip this up, there we go. You can tell like there's really not that much that goes into that well. Okay, because what I have in here, okay, if you see what's in here, that should last me through all 5 of my classes. All right. So you want to do that, get everything, all of your knowns. You want to get all your knowns labeled, okay, and put into the respective wells. And then you want to do your unknowns. Now, every box is going to have 2 unknowns in it. So you're going to have to share or trade with other groups to get different unknowns. So the unknowns are labeled with letters. You don't want to have 2 letter A's. Okay, you can have a letter A, you can have a letter B, C, D, whatever. But you don't want to have 2 of the same letter, because obviously that's going to be the same compound that you're testing. Okay, so you want to do that very quickly at the beginning of class. All right, because we have to wait. We're doing this lab in the dark. And so we have to wait until every single group is ready to go. Now, here's how I'm going to know. You're going to light the Bunsen burner when you have your spot plate finished, when you have all of your knowns and your unknowns. The very last thing that you do then is to light your Bunsen burner. And once every group has their Bunsen burner lit, then we can shut off the lights and you can begin the lab. Now, once the lights go off, you are not permitted to move from your lab space. You have to stay right where you're at. I don't want you walking around the room because it's going to be pitch dark in the room. Okay. If you need something, you call me over and I will, go get whatever it is that you need. So the key thing is we cannot have white lights on in the classroom, but you do need a light to see. So one of the lab partners can use the flashlight on the phone, okay, or just the light from the phone itself, to, so that you can read the next step, or that you can see, what compound that you're trying to get onto your wood split. Okay, but you don't want to do that. Don't shine the light, okay, towards the flame of the group that is across from you, because that white light does interfere with those bright lines that you see in the spectroscope. Okay, now this is a wood split. This is what you're going to use to test. It's going to be soaking in water so it won't catch on fire. All right, and all you do is you just dip that in to your compound and just get, the tip coated, and that is what you're going to put into the flame. Now, two things you're going to do. You're going to record the color of the flame, okay? And then you're going to do this again, and while one of you is holding this in the flame, the other lab partner, is going to look through the spectroscope so that you can see what lines is being given off, all right, by those electrons that are being excited in that compound. Okay, so that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about, is how you're going to set up your trays. All right, last thing, Bunsen burner. Once everybody has their Bunsen burner on, then the lights are going to go out and you can start the lab. Okay, so if you have any questions, make sure you ask me questions at the very beginning of class, because otherwise, this takes pretty much the whole lab period, and we can't really spill over into the next lab period. Okay, one other thing that I wanted to show you. So there's a table right here. Okay, you can't see it on this video, but you'll see it, in the lab procedure. This table has the color flames that you may see and what the wavelengths are that are associated with the color flame that you see. All right. So the color flame that you see has to be in this table. If you see something else, then you're not seeing the right color. So all the colors fall within this table. The other thing that I want to caution you too is that I did put in two compounds that have similar color. Okay, they both have similar like red color. So you have to distinguish between the two of them, either by color or by their spectral lines. Okay, so, all right. So I will see you tomorrow and we'll do this lab. It'll be fun. It's nice and colorful. You guys will really enjoy it. All right, Mrs. Weethy, so long for now.